Hello future self, it's Thursday, January 23rd, 2014, sometime in the afternoon, and I am going on a walk to enjoy this beautiful, cloudless, clear sky. I just had an awesome idea. Yesterday I kind of loosely based the mountain theme around the number 8, so today it's 7. I'll tell 7 stories. 7's my lucky number. So I'll tell 7 stories that make me feel lucky. Story number 1.
Near your grandma's house, there's Settlers Cabin Park, and it's hundreds of acres kind of picnic area. But one section is dedicated to this wave pool area. And there's a really big wave pool, but there's also a pool on the side that has 3 really high diving boards. And one day, whenever you were 9 or 10, you decided to try the lowest diving board. And it was really scary. And you waited there for quite a long time, and the lifeguard was annoyed because kids had probably been climbing and freezing out of fear all day, and so she was goading you to jump off, and eventually you did. You don't remember if it was fun or not, and you survived. But sort of the lesson that you took away from that was that in a really, really scary situation, you know, the only way that you can really goad yourself forward is to take the first step and to let nature take care of the rest, in this case, gravity.
Story number 2.
And speaking of swimming pools, all the times that you didn't fully drown in your aunt's swimming pool as a child, even though given the number of times that you nearly drowned in that thing, no one could be blamed for thinking that you were trying.
Story number 3.
6 years ago, one of the first times that you went to Nagano, you took an 8-hour hike, and you ended up on this ridge, and at one point, 2 different ridges sort of met. You were walking on the peak of one low little mountain, and it sort of met the peak of the next low little mountain in a way where there was a bit of a wall, and the only way to get up this wall, because the soil was loose, it wasn't like rock climbing, but the soil was loose and you couldn't have gone up directly, was to climb this fallen tree that had fallen from the higher ledge to the lower ledge, and you did without giving it a second thought. But just before you got to the top ledge, the tree gave way, and you had to jump and catch hold of the top of the ledge before the tree fell like 20 or 30 feet down the sheer side of the hill. And you kind of look down and you're like, wow, that's awesome. I'm like Indiana Jones. But now that you're about to turn 30, you kind of think that you were lucky not to fall 20 or 30 feet onto a broken tree and lose a life.
Story number 4.
A non-danger related lucky story was whenever you were in France in 2006. You and your friends all woofed. You joined the worldwide organic farmers thingy, and you got in contact with this British man and this American woman, with whom you're still friends on Facebook, John and Joyce, and they let you and your friends stay at their really sort of kickin' French chateau for free for 2 weeks while you did some gardening and floor work and household stuff for them. And it was their first experience with the program, and it was your first experience with the program, and they really took good care of you, and they took you on little drives to museums and out-of-the-way areas, and you saw a lot of France that you wouldn't have otherwise seen, and you had a lot of amazing experiences with local expats in the area, and you guys made lunch together, and you did all sorts of really memorable, nice things. I only wish memory cards from back then were cheaper on average and held more data so that you would have more clear memories of those 2 weeks, because that was magical. That was really awesome.
Story number 5.
I feel lucky that you lived through the Tohoku earthquake. Actually, Japanese architecture is awesome. No buildings in your town fell down, and as far as you know, no major buildings fell down at all from the earthquake just by itself. The tsunami and the fires did most of the damage, as far as you know. You were in the teacher's room at the time, and it was a very long, wide room that was empty except for you and the head of teachers. Anyways, the guy meant well, except he was a bit on edge, and so he ordered you to go back to the earthquake alarm and hold the button that would turn the earthquake alarm off so that you could have a bit of peace and quiet as he ran panicking around the school. So you were left alone in the teacher's room looking at the long stretch of desks and shelves that were banging against each other and emptying their contents onto the floor, and you can actually see the walls bending in ways that they shouldn't bend, and you thought really calmly, oh, so this is how I'm going to die. And you tried to make your life flash before your eyes, but that didn't work very well, and so you just started thinking of your family. Eventually, after a considerably long time, the earthquake stopped and somebody wandered back into the teacher's room, and they said, Jason, why are you standing there holding that button? And I said, I was ordered to. And they said, wow, that's a weird thing to be ordered to do in an earthquake. And I said, I know. And then I let go of the button and went outside with everybody else and felt very lucky indeed to be alive.
Story number 6.
I just realized this the other day, and it kind of blew my mind. I've been living in Japan for over 6 years now, in at least 4 different places, and I've still never had to buy my own washing machine. There's just always been one there. And the reason one has been there has been different for each place that I lived. Is that unlikely? That seems unlikely to me.
Story number 7. Hi, Fuji, in my fingers. How are you?
And the last story isn't really a story, it's a bunch of stories. I feel really lucky for knowing so many awesome people. I'm kind of like a rudderless boat, and over the years my family and friends have been steering me in the right direction through their advice and their recommendations, and mostly their patience and their willingness to listen to me. And I'm really thankful for that, because I think the quality of people that I know is particularly high. I mean, I've never been another person, so I'm not sure, except I'm amazed with the variety of people that I know. And that's not a new thing. Like that, I didn't realize that just after coming to Japan. Like, I was impressed with the wide variety of things I can learn from my friends, even back in high school and college. Like, the only thing I really ever discovered for myself and got addicted to was Spider-Man. But the music I like, and the good books that I like, and the good movies I like, and the hobbies I like, these mostly came from other people. And thank you for that. And thank you for your influences over the years to all of my friends and my family. I couldn't have gotten here without you, because I didn't know that I was coming here. So thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm really fortunate to have had your influence in my life. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. I can no longer smile because my lips and tongue are too cold to move freely. I will see you tomorrow if I don't freeze on the way down the mountain. Bye-bye.